David Scott walked out of the prison gates with a small duffel bag slung over his shoulder and a heart brimming with hope. 2 years ago, his poor decision during a moment of desperation had cost him his freedom. Yet, he believed each day behind bars had sculpted a new version of himself, one that yearned for redemption and a fresh start. As he bussed back into his old neighborhood, reality hit hard. Job applications were met with polite rejections once his criminal record surfaced. Old friends turned away, neighbors whispered, and even the simple act of picking up groceries became an ordeal. David felt like he was drowning in an ocean of judgment, with each condescending glance and muttered remark adding weight to his weary shoulders. Every night, he would pen job applications and write in his journal, a therapeutic ritual where he envisioned a life free of judgment and fear. One dreary afternoon, while nursing a cup of lukewarm coffee at the local diner, a voice pulled him out of his reverie. "Mind if I join you?" It was Katherine Moore, the town's librarian, with a warm smile that seemed out of place in David's cold, judgment-filled world. David hesitated but nodded. "I've heard about you," she said, not unkindly, "and I believe everyone deserves a second chance." Initially skeptical, David kept a guarded distance. He had been burned too many times by hollow promises and pitying gazes. But Catherine's kindness proved genuine. She offered him a part-time job sorting books at the library. It wasn't much, but it was a start. The familiarity of books provided solace, and the library became David's sanctuary. Through Catherine's unwavering support, David learned to forgive himself. Her simple acts of kindness, an encouraging word, a patient ear, fostered a fragile but growing sense of trust. Gradually, the clouds of societal judgment began to part, and glimpses of acceptance trickled through. Months passed, and David's life took on a semblance of normalcy. Catherine's belief in him rippled outward. The local grocer started offering him a nod instead of an icy stare. Neighbors began to greet him with tentative smiles. It was as if Catherine's forgiveness had breached the dam of societal scorn, allowing compassion to flow through. On the anniversary of his release, David stood before a small crowd at the library, nervously clutching a piece of paper. He had been asked to share his journey. "2 years ago, I was defined by my mistakes," he began, voice wavering. "Today, I stand here because someone chose to see me for who I could become, not for who I was." The applause was thunderous, but the most meaningful approval came from Catherine's tear-filled eyes. She had not just given David a second chance. She had taught the entire town the true essence of forgiveness.